Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited that you're here and very excited to be sharing today's video, which consists of two delicious salad recipes that I know you will love. The first salad is a Mediterranean inspired salad. We have so many fresh vegetables in here. We make a delicious hummus dressing that would pair well with just about anything, and the flavorful chickpeas that we put together pair perfectly with this salad. Honestly, you don't have to cook anything, making this the perfect summer salad. You could meal prep this salad to enjoy throughout the week like I did. The longer you let this salad sit, the better it tastes. And the second salad that we're going to be creating is, oh my gosh, it is good. Okay, that salad is a plant-based BLT salad. We make our own plant-based bacon. We also make a very delicious homemade hemp seed ranch dressing that is so delicious. You don't even have to just use this for the salad. You can make a batch of this ranch for the week and use it as a dipping sauce, a spread, whatever your heart desires. And I'm confident that you'll enjoy both of these salads. Before we get into the recipes, I do want to say thank you so much to those of you who joined my live last Sunday. If you happen to join the live, let me know what you thought about it, because I honestly had a time and I hope you did too. If you missed the last one, be sure to turn the bell notifications on so that you are made aware every time I either post a new video or I go live. I do plan to go live today. I'm thinking I'll go live around the same time as I did last week, which was roughly 3:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so 5:30 Central Time and 6:30 Eastern Time. Also, be sure to check the description box for links to not only these recipes, but many more of my recipes, my digital cookbook, as well as a link to download my free plant-based starter grocery list. While you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let's get into the recipes. First up is this Mediterranean inspired salad that is packed with veggies, flavor, and a delicious hummus dressing. So I started out by making my salad dressing, which consisted of a caramelized onion hummus, and this is the brand that I used. You can also just do this with plain hummus, a roasted red pepper hummus. It's completely up to you. I also added in red wine vinegar, some maple syrup, dried oregano, garlic powder, smoked paprika, onion powder, salt, black pepper, and warm water. After combining everything, I transferred it to this sauce bottle and let it sit in the fridge. And I know I'll probably get questions on where I got the sauce bottle, so I'll have that linked in the description box, and it's also on my Amazon storefront. Next, I moved on to my chickpeas, which will serve as one of the sources of protein for this salad. I used canned chickpeas that I drained and rinsed, and then I seasoned them with garlic powder, dried oregano, onion powder, cumin. I also added smoked paprika, dried dill, and a bit of olive oil. I decided not to do anything else to the chickpeas, but if you want, you can throw these in the air fryer or the oven to get them crispy. I feel like that would be really tasty on this salad as well. As always, feel free to customize this salad and the ingredients that I'm using to your liking. For example, you could try this with a store-bought seasoning blend. You can omit the olive oil, or even if you're not a fan of chickpeas, you can replace them with another bean. You could use tempeh or even tofu. Your salad, your rules, okay? Next, I prepped my veggies for the salad. So I'm using cucumbers, tomatoes, red onions, olives, as well as some pepperoncinis, which I absolutely love. I like adding these to my salads and sandwiches. They're delicious. I could also see marinated artichokes being really good in this, because if I had them, I definitely would have used them. In addition to everything that you saw me add, I also added in a plant-based feta. I put the brand that I use in the description. And just before we assemble, I needed to prep my leafy greens, which if you watched my previous videos or you joined my YouTube live last week, you already know that I will be using dino kale in one of these salads. Now, if you're not a fan of kale, this would also work well with romaine lettuce or possibly just about any other leafy green that you enjoy. With this type of kale, you will want to massage it. That's just where you either add oil, lemon juice, salt, or even water, and you just massage the kale with your hands. This helps it become a bit more tender and digestible. And by now it was time to assemble the salad and enjoy. So our chopped chickpea salad is ready. I'm also adding some quinoa that I cooked up for the week to my salad, but you could also try this with like wild rice if you want. I could see that being tasty. We also have the kale and our hummus dressing. From this batch, I was able to divide it into about 3 servings, and across those servings we had a decent amount of fiber, iron, potassium, calcium, and a significant amount of vitamin A and C. And though the salad did have protein in it, I wanted a bit more, so I ended up adding an additional source of protein to the salad when I enjoyed it later in the week. But you can either do the same or you can just enjoy this as is. Either way, I truly believe that you'll enjoy the salad. Now it's time for salad number 2. So this next one is a delicious plant-based BLT salad topped with homemade hemp seed ranch dressing and bacon-inspired tofu. So starting off with the tofu bacon, I called this bacon-inspired tofu because we're essentially making our own plant-based bacon using tofu. The marinade is really what brings out that bacon-like flavor. So to make it, I'm using a low-sodium soy sauce. You could also do this with liquid aminos or coconut aminos. It just depends on what you have on hand or what you prefer to buy. I also added a bit of vegan-friendly W sauce along with some liquid smoke. These 3 alone really help create that bacon-like flavor, but when you add the maple syrup, some tomato paste, nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, and smoked paprika, you get a perfect plant-based bacon marinade. I did add some water to help thin it out a bit because we're gonna pour this over the tofu to give it some flavor, because when prepped and cooked right, tofu really just absorbs whatever you add to it. Also, on my YouTube live this past weekend, somebody had asked me to make a video just centered around tofu and how to cook it. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'll be interested in, where I would go into more detail, show you different ways to prep and cook with it. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. But anyway, back to this tofu. I'm using extra firm organic tofu for added protein, but you could also do this with like a fava bean tofu, a pumpkin seed tofu, or you could also do this with sliced king oyster or trumpet mushrooms. I've used the same marinade on sliced mushrooms before and it was just as delicious, so feel free to try the marinade on either the tofu or the mushrooms or another vegetable if you like. So as you saw, I thinly sliced a few pieces of the tofu, and then I also cut a few cubes just to have variety. If you do decide to use a vegetable slicer, just be gentle because the tofu can rip easily, as mine did, but you could also do this with a knife and just thinly slice the pieces. So after everything was cut up, I then transferred the tofu to this dish and added the marinade in. I let this marinate for about 30 minutes because I just needed the flavor to flavor. Okay, so give it 30 minutes minimum overnight if you even have the time. It was really good, okay? It was really good. As mentioned, for this salad, I'm going to be making a hemp seed ranch dressing. In the past, I would typically make my ranch dressing with a vegan mayo, but I wanted to switch things up a bit. I'm starting out by making a hemp seed cream. So I took 1 cup of hemp seeds, which are packed with protein, healthy fats, and magnesium. I also added in a dairy-free milk and I blended that up. Next, I roughly chopped my fresh herbs. So I went with fresh parsley and fresh dill. If you don't have the fresh herbs, you could also try this with dried dill and dried parsley, but the fresh herbs do add a little extra razzle dazzle. However, just use what you can find. I know that some recipes will recommend that you just add everything to a blender, which by all means you can. I just prefer to hand mix it. I think blending can alter the taste in a way that I'm not a fan of. I don't know, it might just be me. It might just be me. So to make our ranch dressing, I added lemon juice, some apple cider vinegar, the fresh herbs, garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and black pepper. Also, I would recommend using both the lemon juice and the apple cider vinegar, but if you only want to use one of them, let it be the apple cider vinegar, okay? It really gives it that twang that it needs and that you'd be looking for. But again, those are just my suggestions, and I always encourage you to make my recipes your own based off what you prefer or what you have on hand. Okay, now back to the marinated tofu. I decided to bake half of the batch and then pan fry the other half just to show you that you had options. If I had an air fryer, I would have thrown some in there too, but I have yet to buy one since we moved. For the stovetop method, I cooked it in a decent amount of oil just to help the tofu get crispy, like you see here. And then for the baking method, I baked it on about 400 degrees for roughly 20 to 30 minutes until the pieces were crispy and firm. And here's a side-by-side look at how the tofu came out on the stove and in the oven. I honestly think I preferred the baked version because one, it called for less oil, but two, it also got more crispy than the version on the stove. However, don't get me wrong, both options still turned out really delicious, but ooh, I just know this tofu would have got even more crispy in the air fryer, so I can't wait to get one. If you have any air fryer recommendations, please let me know in the comments because I'm truly having a hard time committing to one, so please help your girl out. Okay, so you saw I chopped up my lettuce, I sliced my cherry tomatoes, I sliced my red onions. Our tofu bacon is all done. We have the ranch dressing ready. So the only thing left to do is to assemble the salad. The salad was so delicious, okay? I may or may not have spent the rest of the evening snacking on it. Listen, and if you do the same, I would not blame you because it was so good. If you enjoyed this video and the recipes in it, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave me a comment. That really lets me know what type of content it is that you want to see, and specifically will let me know that you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check the description box for recipes and links to all the things. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.